Hello and welcome to King of the Planet, hosted by eSports.com. This is the 13th in the long-running King of the Planet series, where we find out who is the best 1v1 player that the game has to offer. And welcome back to anyone who has been a long-time viewer of this series. It has certainly been a while, a year since the last one, in fact. And in that time, we have had Planetary Annihilation Titans come out. We have had a new series called Super Commander start up, which gives players an opportunity to test their 1v1 skills. So we have ourselves an Aladea who has been sitting on the throne for a year and a half now, but has he grown fat and lazy? And challenging him is Ion Oxide, who has won the last 5 of the last 6 Super Commander 1v1 tournaments, as well as his last 7 tournament games, and sits top of the ladder. So let us talk to them now and see how they feel about their chances. Firstly, let me go to Aladea. Aladea, how are you feeling about this tournament? Are you positive? Are you ready for this?
Quitch. First of all, I just want to take offense at that fat and lazy comment that you just made. But yeah, I've prepared as much as I think I can, but Oxide is pretty strong. I'm just going to have to hope that it isn't a 3-0.
Hope or have carefully practiced for?
Well, in his favour. Well, I mean, I'll try and give you guys some good games and stuff.
Well, Oxide, over to you. How are you feeling about your chances in this tournament? Are you going to own Aladea in a 3-0 defeat?
I think my chances are pretty good. Maybe it's a 3-0.
A bold prediction. So have you been practicing for this, or have you sort of been resting on your hindquarters since your last Super Commander win?
I have been practicing a variety of 1v1 maps.
So for the people who haven't seen this series for a while, we differ slightly from the normal 1v1 tournaments in that players bring their own maps. They can host on whatever they want, and our first game will be hosted on a map from Oxide. So firstly, Aladea, have you, if you lose a game, obviously you get to choose the map. Have you prepared anything special for this tournament? Anything that's going to catch Oxide unawares?
Well, yeah, I got out my paintbrush and I made a really nice map for Oxide. I think you'll like it.
Well, that certainly sounds like it's going to be incredibly professional and dedicated towards a very careful play style. Oxide, what about yourself? Are you following the tournament map packs that you're familiar with, or have you whipped up something we haven't seen before?
I chose my maps from a variety of map packs.
Okay, so you're going with the familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, gentlemen, I wish you both the best of luck. I'm going to move you back into your rooms now so that we can get this game underway. So, for those of you who are only just tuning in, this is King of the Planet 13, hosted by eSports.com. We have Pag Aladea versus Oxide Ion. King of the Planet versus the man who is dominating the Super Commander 1v1 series. This is a best of 5 tournament. We've shown the last 4 Super Commanders that Aladea has taken part in have all been very one-sided games. But I'm now going to hand you over to AndreasG and Alpha2546, who are going to be walking you through these games. Take it away, boys.
Sweet, thank you, Quitch. Thank you. So, welcome to King of the Planets 13, guys. This is Oxide versus Aladea, and as Quitch so nicely have introduced, this is a best of 5 event where the loser chooses the next map. We have Aladea, who is the current king, and Oxide is the challenger. This is the first match. I am AndreasG, and I am joined by the beautiful, amazing Alpha. Thank you, Andreas. So I'm really curious. This map, I've seen it before, but I've played it once. And what surprised me is that there's a huge ton of metal. What do you think? Yeah. So this is Class Air by Super Omen, and it's in his map pack. And I've actually seen Oxide play quite some games on this one recently, and it's quite interesting. We see the players spawning in close to each other with a wall disconnecting them.
I wish we had Marshy's bell. That would have been awesome. Just ring the bell. Marshy's now at the desk ringing the bell. Yeah, take it away, Andreas.
Yeah, so spawning in on one side of the wall, we got Pag Eladia in light blue, the current king, all heal the current king. And on the other side, we have the amazing challenger, Oxidian, one of the best players there are at the moment.
Awesome, and they're both going bots, which is... I have no idea, to be honest. I thought maybe air could work on this map, but I think bots is the safe choice.
Yeah, we do see quite a big map where both air and docks, I think, is gonna have a crucial part of it. And as you see, there are some ways to get around the wall, and I think that is some choke points we're gonna see used a lot, together with grabbing the metal on the backside.
Yeah, we see Eladia already getting up his air factory, which is quite surprising. That's pretty early, no energy. I think he might be able to stall on his energy for a bit, pushing out that air factory.
Yeah, it's crucial that both players manages to balance their eco nicely in the opening here, and especially times their tier 2 really good, because otherwise they're going to have some major issues in keeping up.
Oh, I'm pretty high. So you've been saying that Oxy has been practicing this map?
Yeah, I've seen him play at least 4 games on this map, and he should have a fairly good idea on what to do.
I know Eladia hasn't been practicing this map, so really curious how this is going to play out.
Yeah, what I think we're going to see is heavy docks in air, and then I think he's going to make a move for the pawn, try and set up shop there. As we see, there's a ton of metal in the pawn, and it's easy to lock down. You can also make the tier 2 in late game to get the nice kaijus attacking the base. So that together with the backside is going to be crucial in getting the eco edge, and from there take it with tier 2 units around, especially this area.
Just look at Oxy's expansion, like he just has like the 3 expansions already going, and where Eladia is going a bit safer. I think this is gonna pay off for Oxy to we see some docks trading over here. It's a good hold off of Oxy, it was good kiting. But yeah, the expansion game of Oxy is really strong.
Yeah, he often tends to prefer kind of a boom expansion, I would say. Like, he goes for it right away, and if his opponent isn't on his toes trying to prevent it, he's gonna grab a good eco edge, as we actually see in this game.
Yeah, really good.
Look at this standoff here. 2 Fabbers building on each side of the wall. Nobody getting a pelter quite yet.
I was about to ask. I'd put up a pelter over there and just try to kill off those metal extractors on the other side. But is it possible on this map, or?
I did some math calculations this other day, and a pelter which takes out those 2 metal extractors will use about 45 seconds to pay for itself. So I would say it's highly viable, and we do see it, yeah.
The pelter. There it is, and we see their fights. This is really important, because I think add-on is gonna... When that was a worse trade for Eladia, because he had more fighters initially.
Yeah, air game obviously a big part of planetary annihilation at the moment.
Yeah.
It's going to be so for quite some time. This is going to be a important situation here, though, whether Eladia is able to take down that Fabber or not.
Yeah, so we see the expansion drift of Oxy going on, and he's right now struggling to spend all that metal. So, what do you think? Should he have gone more factories instead of more expansion?
It's a hard choice. It kind of depends on whether Eladia can make that early trades work in his favor.
We see some good raiding from Eladia taking out these metal extractors.
That's a good example of
that's just delayed.
Yeah. Shouldn't let the visuals trick you in the game. Just because it's a crack there doesn't mean you can kill what's on the other side.
And so many docks, yeah, I think docks is mainly the way to go.
Yeah, so let's take a look of what factories the players has been building. Oxidine with 3 air factories, 3 bot factories, moving over to heavy vehicle and air build. So that's interesting. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do see Eladia with 3 air factories as well, 5 bot factories.
We see 3 bombers. Oh my goodness. Oh, we see a trade in the back. He's trying to raid, but it's not gonna pay off.
Yeah, crucial that Faba stays alive, because it's closer to the backside expansions than any other unit for Oxidine.
So air-wise, this is quite interesting, because Eladia hasn't got air dominance, but has spent more metal in the bombers, and we see just it took all his air out, no bombers, no fighters, nothing, and in the meantime, Oxy just right now has air dominance, and he is expanding.
He goes for the naval factory, and the most efficient way to take that out is to use the air. So I would like to see Oxidine moving all his fighters over to defend those Fabas, but it's going to be up in time, so no really big issue there.
Yeah. Eladia is just not in the air game at the moment. He's struggling.
He do have some good rating down there. Some successful rating, but the crucial question here is, how are the players going to time the tier 2?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna go all bots, or they're gonna go like T2 bots and just slammers. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Eladia manages to do like a cheeky drop with some Infernos or Levelers. But then again, you need air dominance, so...
Yeah, Inferno drop here would be straight out beautiful to watch.
Oh man, just at those pigeons and the metal extractors, that'd be brutal.
Tier 2 is indeed started by Oxidine, who actually has an eco edge at the moment.
Oh, we see an air clash over here. I think this is gonna be...
Ooh.
This is really close.
And the Faber, oh no, he turned away. He could have taken out those 2 air Fabers down here, but decided to turn his fighters around, not scouting them.
Yeah.
This is important though. This is really important.
Yeah, I wonder what Eladia is gonna do about this naval game. Because that's a lot of metal in the water that he's getting, and it's safe. Like, how are you gonna attack it? Nothing. Nothing.
So he does manage to take down a factory and for metal extractors, but meanwhile Oxidine is just grabbing many more metal extractors in the water, and it actually makes that plateau with those 4 metal extractors actually not count for too much.
Yeah.
Oh. We do finally see a tier 2 factory from Pagaldi as well, deciding to go for those amazing advanced spot factories. Do you think we're going to see usage of the locusts?
Oh, that's actually a good one. Yeah, I think we will. If he's smart, and I think Eladia is pretty smart man, I think he can do some good raiding on the water with those locusts. But Oxy, on the other hand, has his T2 tanks. I don't know if this is the right choice. What do you think?
Of course, the tanks has this very infamous or famous levelers, as I would say, who has amazing DPS and smelts through walls. But then again, it's slow, right? And this is a big map.
Yeah, it's a big map, and mainly because of that crack. But we see some more raiding. Oh my god! Just look at the economy. It's like Oxy is right now. It's now just having his metal from the water, but. Oh my god, this is painful.
How much damage can he make? And there's no bombers whatsoever in that area.
Remember, Oxy chose this map to play Eladia against. I think Eladia is a really good player with adapting. And it just shows that he just...
Definitely agree on that.
Oh, we see some more raiding at Eladia. I don't think the laser turret take him out. There's not any micro happening. So he's gonna take out the docks, I think.
Yeah, we do see many of the docks is actually shooting at the extractors instead.
Oh man,
that's unfortunate.
Just look at the base. That's so much damage done.
But the tier 2 eco is going up for Oxidine, and even though he is being raided quite badly here, he does have the tier 2 eco to make it up for.
Yeah.
And kind of, let's see. Yeah, that's a good rating, but as I was about to say here, the all-forgotten backside, we do see some important colonization by Eladia. He's grabbing quite some X's there, and Oxidine is a bit more on the defense there.
And this is, I think LD is gonna neglect the naval game. I don't think this is a smart choice. But then again, like a few locusts over here can do so much damage.
Yeah, few locusts and everything is gone. Wow, this is such a close game.
This is just look at the back expansion of Eladea. He's done much running with the bots. In the meantime, he just kept on expanding, and I think it's a really good play by Eladea.
I would not think it was Eladea who was gonna grab the backside. The games I was watching where Oxidine plays, he has always been early at the backside, trying to grab as much as possible. But in this game, we see quite the contradictory, or something like that, as Eladea is the one who actually grabs it.
See some raiding in the back. This is a bit painful because he can't get those medals. But then again, Eladea is floating metal a lot. I think he was waiting to get his energy up, and right now he's gonna go put up some more production.
I feel like it's more like it's a bug trying to annoy Eladea rather than something game changing.
Okay, we have to keep in mind with this, because this is a pretty scary army. Those sparks. I think he'll be managing to take it off with his commander, but it won't be there. And if LD is smart, he'll just move along and take out that T2 production. But unfortunately,
he chooses the commander.
Yeah, I don't think he has the scout.
In the meantime, though, he pushes with an advanced Faber behind that army.
It's pretty cheeky, but that's because he doesn't have any air dominance, I think, at the moment. I think Oxy has more air, so he needs a way to protect his troops.
Yeah, he's backing off here, realizing that may was a bad choice, as levelers are actually approaching her. If those levelers reach the base, though, like no sparks are gonna be able to touch it. It's gonna totally wreck everything, so it's definitely something Eldea has to react to before it happens.
Okay, so it looks like we have a bit of a breakdown right now. There's just a bit of raiding in the back from Oxy, but that's mostly it. And I think I don't see any T2 fabrics from LD. The only one I see is right here at the front.
And it's gonna be killed soon. That's my guess, at least.
It's a painful thing to lose a T2 faber. I don't know how expensive it is. What do you think? How much is a T2 faber?
It's over 1,000. That much I know. And a teleporter is going up in LD's base. But he leaves it. What? He's not gonna go for it.
I don't know sure what he wants it to do, but he's trading though the levelers in the sparks.
Yeah, let's focus on this, because this is actually the only tier 2 metal extractor that LD has anywhere. And it's almost in Oxidine's base. I would say that's almost a bad decision.
He lost the T2 faber, that's not good. Just look at the economy. That's mainly T2, that's insane. And LD is just not switching correctly. He still hasn't T2 fabers.
Ooh, teleporter is going up there.
It's spotted.
And the other teleporter is ready at the other side. He denies it.
Yeah. That's not good. That's a loss of metal, because those teleporters are quite expensive too. And right now, Eladea can't lose any metal because he doesn't have any T2 metal. So he's mainly trying to hold on with his expansion. But that's about it. He's gonna lose those if he's not gonna grab them.
Important victory here for Eladea, though, managing to kill several engineers, including one tier 2 vehicle engineer.
Yeah, that's like 2, 4, 5. I think like 8 T1 and 1 T2. That's a pretty big win.
I find it weird that Oxidine actually tried to grab this, because as we see when we toggle on Oxidine's view, he has scouted those factories, and I do see blips on the radar.
This army though, I'm not sure about its army composition, because we know LD right now doesn't have the air dominance. And this has no AA. Nothing.
Oh no, I don't want to watch this. I'm going to keep it in pip. Just
yes.
I want to see this.
Where did Locust? Come on, Eladea.
Oh, leveler army closing in, managing to defending off this one, but it's going to be the first out of several waves, I think. Oh, tier 2 Faber taken out by Oxidine. Do LD has any tier 2 Fabers now? I think
I
Oxide
think-
denied everything.
No, he has one over here, but I think it should have gone up way earlier. It's gonna be hard to crawl back up from this point. See the commander taking some damage over here. It's not much, but it's something.
And as we actually saw 2 minutes ago, Oxidine started this tier 2 naval factory, and it's finished.
Oh, and that's gonna damage. But in the backside, we see a big clash. There goes LD's expansion. So he must make sure he's gonna get the T2 metal up in his base, or else he's gonna stall like a madman.
But look at this though, they're just passing each other. The two armies. LD manages to sneak behind.
It's so funny. It's like, oh, there's some tanks over there, but I'm not gonna bother. I'll just keep on going somewhere else. I think this is gonna get bombed. Yep, there we go.
Oh,
Oh,
and
that's so painful.
Eladia does not have the economy to lose all those troops to air.
I think it would have been smart if you just put the slammers in the water and still make use out of it to kill those metal extractors.
I definitely think that would have been a more effective way to use it. He calls it GG, wow. So
How did you
early.
build in the water?
It's air fabbers.
GG.
And he suicides, wow. Wow, maybe a bit premature GG there, but I do see his points.
Yeah, I think so. That naval save at Oxy.
Yeah, that naval is crucial. It's just so much safe economy that's almost untouchable.
LD has a point though. This map is quite shallow at the lake, so you need to build like right in the middle of the lake, which is an issue. So you can only do it by air fabbers.
Yeah, so Eladia not aware of that, but Oxidine, who obviously has played this map several times, are quite aware.
So what do you think of the game? I'm pretty stoked. This was pretty even for a while, but it was just the map that I think turned it around, and Eladia's late T2 economy buildings getting up.
I'm quite surprised that Oxidine actually managed to shoot that much ahead. It looked like Eladia underestimated the usage of tier 2 eco, especially metal extractors at the base.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to get those up.
Yes, I'm actually quite surprised. I thought we would have a more close end, or even move on to some major tier 2 battles and possibly even nukes or titans.
I think Eldadia just put all his money on that tele drop and trying to get Oxy out of position with his tanks, but because of the lack of air dominance, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, so now though, Eladia is one behind, and he needs to get back into the game. What do you think Eladia should do to get claiming the next victory instead of losing another one?
I think he should. Should keep in mind the T2 economy, because that just gave the game away. Because it was quite interesting. We saw like mid game, we saw Oxy losing a lot of ground, but that was because he was investing in the T2 metal, and Eladia wasn't. So Eladia was managing to raid him all the way, but the T2 economy eventually for Oxy paid off. He managed to hold the raiding parties off and just take the game.
So with some good map choosing, something that Oxidine necessarily ain't that familiar with, he can do similar things as Oxidine did in the water here.
I do think Oxy was a bit surprised when he got raided that much.
Yeah, I would say Eladia actually was the best player in the middle game. He was the one with the most successful raids and was the most aggressive one, but he just couldn't bring it into the late game, mostly because of the tier 2.
Yeah, and I mean, if Eladia managed to get some naval going, then Oxy had a way harder time to get up that T2 economy.
It is important to remember though that Eladia played his last King of the Planet a year ago, and he maybe need this game to get back into it again.
Yeah, I think so.
So now that the rust is off, he's ready to bring us some more action, I think.
I think Eladia has a pretty good chance to win some games, especially after seeing this match. It was quite a close one, and which is surprising because Oxy they chose this map, and They still manages to keep up with it.
Do you think it's smart for LAD to stick with the Slammer and Spark combination?
No. In case of Oxy, no, because I think Oxy is a very sturdy player, and I think he knows that he just wants that atoms. Because if you look at Oxy's playstyle, you'll see no spinners ever. You won't see him because he just wants that atoms all the time. So I think bots is a poor choice to go against Oxy.
Yeah, especially the Sparks, is because it just doesn't have the speed.
Yeah, like maybe some darks, because they're able to shoot down bombers, but
Dogs is always handy to have to just raid and stuff, but I'm not so sure about the a bit more ugly brother Spark, to be honest.
yeah, I think so too.
Just not a unit I use a lot myself, but I'm not the king, so.
Yeah, that's true. Aren't you gonna challenge the king?
That would be fun, huh?
That would be fun. That would be so enjoyable. Seeing you wreck the next king.
But we have the huge question though, who is gonna be the king, because it's open for grab now.
It's open, and from this match, what we've seen, I think it's gonna be a quite tense. But is it 5 matches? We're gonna see. I'm really curious. What do you think?
I'm super hyped.
What do you think the big difference is like between Oxy and Aladea?
I think the big difference is that Oxidian is crazy good in early game to just get out there, explode with his expansions, and just relying on that eco edge in the rest of the game. Meanwhile, Eladia, I think, is a bit more micro and macro actually intense player. He's more about making the units count and smashing his amazing APM all over the place. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Oxy, from what I've seen him, that he's a very sturdy player. Like, he has a build and he'll execute that one and he'll execute it flawlessly. And Eladea is like, he's like that ninja that's gonna ninja himself out of the situation. But do you remember the Clubsy where he Inferno dropped? What was it, Sankar and?
Oh, that was the Bad Bot Buddies, I think.
The Bad Bot Buddies. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, he has been around for so long. Like Eladia, he's been around since, I think it's beta. It's before release, anyways, and he has so many good tricks up his sleeve. And I just hope we're going to see several of those in the upcoming games.
Yeah. Plus, I think Eladia has a very good understanding of their game, with balance-wise and just the way to go. So
Absolutely.
it didn't really show in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, Oxidine has been familiarized with this current build, but as we remember back in the days, we had almost a new build every week. So LAD is a player who's used to adapting to different playstyles, different unit, different tweaks, and I think he's going to adapt to how Oxidine plays now and possibly have a smashing comeback.
Yeah, that is actually a very good point. I'm really curious what LAD is gonna bring on the table map choice, because I think that's gonna make or break the King on the Planet.
Yeah, as he told in the interview with Quitch later this cast, he said he had made a map himself, and I'd be interested to see what that looks like.
I've seen him working on the map, but I'm not sure. I think it's a very beautiful map, but there hasn't been any thought being put behind the playstyle. But yeah, I don't know.
I've had a sneak peek as well, and let's keep the rest as a kind of a wait and see how it's going to be.
That was like a good mention of the interview, because I do think Eladia didn't really sound that confident.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was humble as few, and Oxidine was quite the opposite.
The king sounded a bit shaky.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm wondering if he has his crown up.
But then again, we got to remember that is just a way of communicating, right? We don't know what goes through his head, and maybe it's just a strategy to let like is to make Oxidian put his guard down.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point too. So what did you thought of the map?
The map is played quite differently from most other 1v1 maps, as the players actually spawn so close. I think it's a good one. It's one of the better from Super Roman, and I've played it myself, and I gotta say, my first thought was, what is this bullshit, right? But when I got into it, it was actually quite a interesting map.
Yeah, I think the only issue this map has was the naval. But then again, it leaves up for some strategies, because you'll need those FABs to get those.
This shallow waters can, for some people, kind of ruin something if they don't realize that they can build in the middle and not at the sides. But that's not something the map makers can necessarily control. So you just gotta eat the cake you're given, right?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, you got some cake over there?
Of course, I got plenty of cake.
You got some cake for me?
Of course. Yeah,
hey,
so,
Quich.
yeah. Sorry, go Admiral. No, Alpha.
Yeah, well, I guess Quich will be interviewing the winner, which is Oxy. Take it away, Quich.
Okay,
Take
thank
it
you very much, gents, and thank you for commenting us through that game. We're going to take a moment now to speak to the winner of that game, Oxide Ion, who is going to perhaps just give us a few thoughts about that game and why it went the way that it did. So, hello there, Oxide, and congratulations on taking Game 1.
Thank you.
So an interesting contrast in that game between a very bot-heavy play by Aladea versus some very, I think, a much heavier tank mix from yourself. Do you think that you went the right way with that? Obviously you came out on top, but were tanks the way to go on that map, or would you change things? Would you do it differently if you went back to it?
I think tanks were alright in defending, but the bots raiding me was a bit of a problem, so I would have needed more bombers.
Well, I saw that you maintained air dominance throughout that game, well, for most of that game at least, and certainly later on when Aladea made his switch to the slammer, the slammer combo with his tier 1 bots, you were able to bomb them into the ground. Do you think that it was just the early raids on then that set you back and made it as close as it was?
Hard to say, but yeah, it played a part.
I saw you went into the water on that map to take basically an undisputed taking of that lake. But I don't think it ever became a really big factor in that game. Were you expecting to see it contested more than it was?
Yeah, I did expect Aladea to try to get it, but he didn't, so it was just free metal, which is always nice.